sometimes I'll just get so exhausted to the point where I'm falling asleep, staring at my work. I think I've almost learned how to sleep with my eyes open at this point.
When it comes to my responsibilities, it's kind of where things can fit. I have very few windows throughout the week because once it hits Thursday, as we all know, the week kind of like rushes to the very end. So I have to make sure that I fit everything or recognize what's important and urgent because my mind doesn't know the difference between those two.
I know you work too.
I do.
I feel like a lot of times, because I'll have a to-do list, but I find that each day if I say, okay, I'm gonna get this done today, and I way overdo it and put way too much thinking, yeah, I can get all this done, and then I feel disappointed when I don't get everything done, so.
I do the same thing too. I mean, I have to totally like caveman break it down into like my schedule. Like
Simplest task.
Yeah, really, my day is like broken down like so basic that I get reminders on my phone for everything. Like something funny that I do is like I lay out my clothes the night before, or you know,
It's valid.
little things like that.
It's very valid.
Like I cannot stress about that like in the morning, or else I'll end up looking wild. So yeah.
Well, you have the mental space to do it. That's
Exactly,
yeah.
right. Just like you said, wherever it fits in your schedule.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
One, I feel like either I'll try to distract myself and just ignore the responsibilities, taking a nap to try to like get away from it, or even like scrolling on social media. I almost go into a panic mode where I try to get everything done, but sometimes I'll just get so exhausted to the point where I'm falling asleep, staring at my work. I think I've almost learned how to sleep with my eyes open at this point.
Yeah, I mean the same thing for me too. Like trying to keep your emotions in check a little bit. Like if something bad happens, like you fail a
Right.
quiz or something, or even if something good happens, you know, you're not getting too hyped, you're not getting too down. Kind of just trying to stay level and chill. And again, that ties into like talking with people, or just taking a nap.
Last semester, at the end of the spring semester, there were about 5 different things that were piling up. And I hadn't told anyone for like a month and a half, and it just felt massive. And as soon as I told someone, I could literally feel the weight off my chest, even though they were still heavy. Telling people is very underrated. Like it's very repetitive, and people just say, tell people, just get it off your chest, but like it actually does make a difference. I find that within the busyness and holding myself to such a standard that I don't let myself have some restful times. I have to find those restful times in the pockets of everything. So listening to something that I really want to listen to on the way home, trying to be in the moment when I'm visiting my siblings, trying to set aside the hour of Bible study every Tuesday night. Just different than past semesters, but it's really made a difference for me.
And it's hard because sometimes those are even though they're the priorities that make you feel the most rested, they're the ones that are easiest to push aside. So I have small group on Monday nights. We're in the same small group. Yeah, and I'm always worried that, you know, I'm not gonna have enough time for this. I'm not, like I'm going to run out of time. But every time after I go, I think I'm so glad I went, even if before I was stressing and maybe thought it would be too much and, oh, I have all this work to get done. But I think it almost helps just kind of reset my day and reset my priorities with that.
Yeah, I agree. And then sometimes, you know, whenever I make that space and I do go to church, or I do end up going to group, sometimes it'll help me look at things differently. Like something that I had been struggling with the whole week, like I feel alone in this assignment, or, you know, I just can't figure it out. I feel like office hours get canceled and I can't do anything about it.
Right.
There's lessons in the Bible and the things that we talk about that otherwise I wouldn't have thought about. So in a way, right, like you show up, you put the time in, and then you're like, oh, okay, maybe I've been looking at this wrong. But I guess that's the whole point, right? Why you go.